Okay. That's one. Okay. So we take the 3 refuges and the precept and also the asking for forgiveness. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bhante bhuri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipana anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka dasana, malaganda, vilepana, dharana, mandana, vibhusanatana, veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchasayana, mahasayana, veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Idang me silang magapala jnanasa pachayo hotu appamadena sampadeta sadhu. Ulanya. All right. All right. Let us start off with guided Metta Bhāvana. So let us sit here, let of all the thoughts, let of all the plans. Just keep the mindfulness, awareness in the present moment. From top of the head, relax slowly on the face, neck and shoulders, chest, buttocks, thighs, knees, calf and sole. So just relax the whole body. Keep the mind open, peaceful, and mindful. May I be free. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful, able to live peacefully with myself and peacefully with others. May I be well. May I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. May I truly be happy. Let us expand our goodwill, good thoughts, our metta to all the beings around us. In this meditation center, in this locality, may they be humans or non-humans, guardian devas of this place, other devas residing in this monastery, this meditation center, this locality. To all the unfortunate beings, seen or unseen, to all the animals, big or small, may all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May all of us be peaceful. May all of us be well. And may all of us truly be happy. May all beings around here, may they be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings be well. May all of us here truly be happy. Now let us expand and share our metta to all the beings in this country. And all beings, humans and non-humans, devas, betas, or unfortunate beings, to all the animals, big or small, far or near. all beings in this country, may they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be well. May all beings truly be happy. May all beings in this country truly be peaceful. May all beings in this country, may they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings in this country, may they all be well. May they all be peaceful. May they all truly be happy. Now let us expand. Let us expand the Metta. Let us imagine the Metta envelop the whole wide world and all the beings within it, reaching out to all the beings without condition in this world. May they be our loved ones, near or far away, or those whom we do not know, wherever they are, to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us, to all the guardian devas of the sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the betas, to all the unfortunate spirits, to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen, far or near. May all beings in this world, may they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings in this world be able to live in peace and not in war, live with kindness and compassion and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings in this world, may they all be well, may they all be healthy, may they all truly be happy. May all beings in this world, may they be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings, may all beings in this world, may they all be well, may they all truly be happy. May all beings in this world truly be peaceful. Now let us expand. Let us expand the Metta, reaching out to all the beings without exception, without condition, without boundary. All beings in this universe or universes, all beings from the highest planes of existence, all the way down to the lowest planes of existence, and all beings in all the world systems. May all beings be free. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings have peace in their heart. May all beings have kindness in their heart. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well. May they all truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings without exception, may they all be peaceful. May they all be well. May all beings truly be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be well. And may all beings truly be happy. Now let us let go of the metta. Bring back the attention to the body. Just feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the sensation. Then we can slowly open our eyes. Okay. Now, first thing before we start the Dhamma talk, tomorrow we'll do the third COVID test. So I think the group, the volunteers, Sister Elsie and the other volunteers will come around 10 something, and then you all finish, let's say, meditation at 11 a.m., then you slowly move over to the dining hall. Now, if you come a bit later, also it's not a problem, because after lunch, they will still be around they'll test the remaining yogis. So no rush. So it's good that we split into some before breakfast, before lunch, and some after lunch. Yeah. All right. Next one. I think there are some leaking here and there, water. I think the ladies here. So not to worry, we already called the service people personnel to come and fix whatever is leaking inside there. Whatever electricity and all that. Some here cannot work, that one cannot work, washing machine cannot work, and this cannot work, that cannot work. We try to fix it up. As I said, this is the first retreat after some time. We'll try to get it moving again. So there's a lot of repair, a lot of maintenance, a lot of changing new things. Just bear up with us. So if any major things that you find it a difficulty, then of course you can approach the boys, or tomorrow you can approach Sister Elsie, see what we can do for that. Okay? We'll try to make the best over here of whatever we have. All right. Now, yesterday, I talked about basic understanding on the sitting meditation. And also a little bit on the mindfulness. Because that mindfulness thing, you cannot run away. That topic on mindfulness, you cannot run away from Satipatthana. After all, Satipatthana starts with Sati first. Now, the thing is that we need to talk about it again and again, because sometimes we may be able to see a different perspective of mindfulness as we grow in our practice of this meditation. Yeah. And in fact, that you will see also for yourself that many yogis, as they progress, the level of that mindfulness has come to a certain degree that they can able to maintain a more continuous form of mindfulness. Not just mindfulness sporadic here and there, but a more consistent form of mindfulness before it kind of disappears. Then there will come to a time that this mindfulness, whenever you wish for it, and whenever you make an intention for the mindfulness to arise, it's already there. When you want it to let it go, it will let go. So at your command. And this comes with training. And that too, many of the yogis also could see that, especially when you start to sit down, you want that mindfulness to start. Then everything becomes very clear at your command. When the sitting stops, you let it go for a bit. Then after that, you start with a walking meditation or you go to the toilet. Then you ease that mindfulness, you ease that clarity for a while. Or that precise noting on the mindfulness at your command. And throughout that sitting or throughout that walking, you can be able to maintain an optimum level of that mindfulness. So a number of yogis got able to do that because they already trained some time. And to do that and to reach to that stage is not an easy feat actually. Many of us have to struggle retreat after retreat. Which that also it comes with the progress of Vipassana. Yeah. But nevertheless, we need to talk about it. Because understanding of this mindfulness thing is so crucial that every time you may go further into the development, mindfulness may look slightly differently to you. Not like when you are before. But they still share the same characteristics. Now, yesterday I said that in a nutshell that mindfulness is this heightened awareness of the present moment. As while we are doing satipatthana, that heightened awareness of the present moment. In the positive form. In the negative form, that means in sometimes when we look into a more traditional understanding of mindfulness, it means not wobbling away. Apilana. Not wobbling away means the mind is stable on the object. The mind is stable on the object. Now here, when we look at heightened awareness, now if you ask me, sometimes people do give questions, Q&A. Is mindfulness and awareness the same? It's all here a preference of what the translator like to use from the word sati. Some use mindfulness, some use awareness. But to me, I don't really like to use the word awareness. If I want to use the word awareness, if I want to use the word sati, it's usually a form of heightened awareness. Because the word awareness can give rise to just a wrong notion that every day also aware, ma. You do this, do that, at home also you're aware. So that type of awareness is not mindfulness. That type is the normal daily awareness. But heightened awareness, it's mindfulness. It's where when you begin to exert your mind to focus or to stay with that something that you are doing. For example, like you want to sew with your thread and needle thing. So you got to be careful. Or you are using a razor or a razor blade. You got to be more careful. Perhaps you're dealing with fire. Then you have to be more careful. That more careful, that more attentiveness is that heightened awareness in the daily life. But we don't sustain them. After we finish that job, we let it go. But while we are in the retreat, it is important that we sustain them. Because that sustaining is where your progress comes in. Sporadic here and there, it's not going to come anything. The mindfulness is not going to be that much. Or the progress wouldn't be that much. So you need a sustainable form of mindfulness. Now, before we're going to look into that sustainable form of mindfulness, which is a skill, there are skills on its own. Developing mindfulness and sustaining mindfulness is two different things. Although it's not easy for us to understand if you are not a meditator. If you are a meditator, maybe yes. Now, when we are here in the retreat center, now you are expected to arouse mindfulness, to stir up the mindfulness through your walking, through your sitting, and through your daily activities. Daily activities here, just to make sure that all of you know, is that these daily activities include your eating, sitting, in your toilet, you're changing your clothes, you're combing your hair, you're opening a door, closing a door, turn on the faucet, turn off the faucet, everything. Everything. Every small little thing that is fall under the category of daily activities. We cannot impossible for us to able to cover everything. But we need you to understand that those things are crucial for the development of mindfulness and also for the sustaining of mindfulness later on. Yeah? Now, when you come to this heightened awareness, now next time if you meditate and then suddenly you're not sure, am I mindful or not? Am I clear or not? You can ask yourself, am I clear or not? Am I mindful or not? Am I paying attention to my object of meditation or not? Am I paying attention to the opening a door or not? Am I aware or am I being mindful when I wear my sandals or slippers? Am I aware when I move my hands? Am I aware of when I eat or lying down or sitting on the chair, getting up from the chair, sitting on the cushion, getting up on the cushion, drinking your water? And so those things, if you're not sure, sometimes if you're still a beginner or just done a little bit of meditation, then here is to remind yourself, to drill yourself back to the present moment, to lock yourself back into the present moment. If not, sometimes, most of the time, our mind will drift away. So here, again and again, we got to pull the mind back to the present moment. Everything that you do, nobody going to know whether nobody can see whether you're aware or not. It's only up to you. Sometimes your movements is slower, then this is a good condition for mindfulness to arise. But that not necessarily the mindfulness will arise. Sometimes people very slow, very slow, but the mind is somewhere else. But slow only, slow. Sui, other yogis see, very nice, very beautiful. Great yogi, wonderful yogi, but inside there, kosong, nothing. So that is not what we want. Your mind and your attention in the present, that is very important. So that heightened awareness, you try to be aware of it, you take a particular interest in how you open a door. When you're out there, when you tell this to people, nobody is going to listen to you. But here, this is something that is crucial, just by opening a door. And sometimes if you're mindful enough, you're sharp enough, even the aspect of anatta, it's being seen while you are opening a door. Even the aspect of when you are doing your laundry by hand, then you can able to feel that the hand is just moving as if like it is not yours. You just never know, the insight will come. And it's interesting. It's interesting. All you need to do is make that effort. So that making that effort to be mindful, to be heightenedly aware of what you are doing, that is mindfulness. That is mindfulness. Now, another thing about this mindfulness is this. Is keep the mind stable on the object. The stability of the object, of that mindfulness, of the mental factors, it's done by this mindfulness. This mindfulness thing, I mean, it cannot just exist mindfulness when you're noting your object. Noting your rising or falling is not just mindfulness only. There are several other components itself. They are coming together while you are noting it and they're going to disappear together, and the new sets of mental noting comes in. Mm. But the thing is that we cannot go and discuss so many other things surrounding it. We need to discuss the mindfulness. Because if you were able to bring that mindfulness, you're going to bring all of them together. Yeah? Here, the mindfulness gives you that stability of the mind. The stability comes into a different form. Beginning part of this meditation, perhaps you will see stability in that meditation is that after, like, for example, you're sleepy, thinking, suddenly, whoop, everything get alert. Everything become clear. Everything suddenly, the rising, falling become nice and long and short, and it's moving and so on. That means the mind is kind of like stable there. Even it lasts only for 30 seconds. Even it just lasts for maybe 1 minute. But there's a stability of the mind is there. That means the mind is able to hold on, to able to be staying on the object of your meditation. And here is your primary object of your meditation. So if you can able to stay there, the mind can able to stay there, stay with it, and you can able to see the movement, then the mindfulness being aroused. Before that, when you are thinking, when all this thinking, all this sleepiness, that one no mindfulness. And suddenly it all comes in again. That suddenly also does not come if you don't practice on it. There's no suddenly if you don't practice. Suddenly only comes in after you practice some time. After practice some time, there is a sleepiness happening, thinking coming in. Then suddenly you become mindful again. That suddenly, it comes with practice. If you think that you are not practicing, you can get that suddenly, you know. It won't come in. It takes a while because again here that suddenly it's because of the habit of mindfulness that you have developed somehow somewhere in the past, and then as you come in suddenly sometimes the hindrances come in and kacau your noting a little bit, then somehow it just cut off and then your whole mind become clear again. That is what I mean suddenly. So that one, when it comes in again, that is then you must realize that mindfulness has come back again. Mindfulness has come back again, and that is good. You can see that time it's easier for you to see the contrast between when you are not mindful, when there's thinking, when there's sleepiness, and when there is a clarity of mind. So when there's clarity, the mind is stable on the object of your meditation. It can be a lifting, pushing, dropping, sitting, touching, rising, falling, but you know at that time your mind is not running here and there. And that is important. To understand that state of mind, to remember that state of mind, that in the future, when things are happening, you know it's there. In this one, beginners, is important for you to take note. But if you're a more seasoned yogis, these things is already like, it happened countless of times. All you need to do is just, that not mindful just now, just leave it and then just carry on this one. Just carry on, until sometimes the mindfulness goes away again. Yeah? So that is important for us to understand that this mindfulness, when it stays with the object, you can stay with it very clearly. So, in that sense, the text also mentioned that the mindfulness is more like confronting an object. It goes to the front of the object or face to face to an object. That's why the mind can still stable with it. A lot of times when we come into this mindfulness thing, the face to face onto the object is so crucial, because when that mind, when that noting mind goes directly in front of the object, then other mental factors like concentration, like the power of the wisdom, like the confidence, like the effort, will start also to work upon the object of your meditation. If mindfulness alone, it wouldn't do. It has to have all other mental components to do that. But you don't have to worry about all the others. All you need to do is take note of that mindfulness. And once your mindfulness, as I said earlier on, once you have that mindfulness, everything will fall into their places. So you need that face-to-face to it, because say is easy, but many yogis don't really like to go face-to-face with the object, especially when it comes to pain, physical pain. That is difficult to bear. Physical pain is not that, it's already difficult, yes. But the next one is the mental pain. The mental pain is even more worse. It's worst. It's the worst, actually. Because that one, when it comes with your terrible memories, horrible thoughts, horrible thinking, then how are you going to push it aside? That is where mindfulness also can help you to heal those problems too. Yeah? In facing the object, facing the object is that once the mind able to face the object, is also at the same time stabilize on the object. Sometimes you use camera like this one, or like your phone camera, you try to shoot a video, and then your video all shaky. Yeah. Look at your video also burning. Those days, nowadays, the camera is different. You shake it a little bit, when the video come out, also still stable. The technology, you already almost, what do you call that? When your hand starts to shake, what do you call that? Huh? Trembling? No, not trembling, that disease, what do you call that? Parkinson, yes. That's the word. That's the terrible thing, Parkinson. I've seen, of course, I've seen people with Parkinson, even you take a spoon and you cannot put it into the mouth already. Before you take anything, everything is spilled over. So it's not easy. Yeah. But I've seen technology helps. There are kind of a spoon that you can hold in. Your hand shake, but the spoon doesn't shake. It's meant for people with Parkinson's disease. As you grow older, some of us are going to have that. The hands is shaking, but the spoon is remain stable. So when the eye coordination, although the hand shake, he can able to still bring the food into the mouth and still can makan. Yeah. So do the same thing when our camera nowadays, most of your handphone camera, especially more expensive one, is that when you shake your video a little bit, it so happen you move your video a little bit, not to say a lot like that, just a little bit moving here and there, you see that the camera you come out is still very stable. So too, our mindfulness also the same thing. As you grow into that development, then you can find that also that stability of the mindfulness onto the object is that sometimes there may be some noises, perhaps there may be some thoughts surrounding it, minor thoughts, or some itchiness here and there, but not so severe, not so predominant. But you can still stay with your rising and falling. And your rising and falling can still be very clear, although it's going to be shaken by, the surrounding objects. So if your mindfulness is stable, if your mindfulness is clear, it stays onto it without going into all other objects when they are not that prominent. But when your mindfulness is not strong or steady or continuous, other words, then a little bit of that, a little bit of the, a little bit of thoughts come in, then you completely forgot about your meditation object. You go into the story. When you go into the story, that's it. Your mindfulness just cut from there. Yeah, it just cut from there. So it needs that stability. It needs that stability to stay onto the object. So this is important. So this is important for us to at least have a clear idea of what this mindfulness is, connected with the meditation aspect. So in that sense, when that mindfulness, when it's kind of like able to stay with the object, in other words also, it guards the mind. It guards the mind from the thinking, from the sound, from the sensation, other sensation, and what are the hindrances that's coming in. The stability and guarding is like two part of a coin. Now the guarding part also, you will see that whenever you do your walking meditation, especially when you are more concentrated at that time, the third phase, when you start to notice your lifting, pushing, dropping, you will notice that your eyes are not so kepo looking at other yogis' leg. Because you are walking together. Or looking here or looking there. The moment your mindfulness starts to become more stable, more continuous, noticing the lifting, pushing, dropping, or whatever that's going on in the walking meditation, you will know that sound outside there doesn't disturb you so much. Your eyes also is not so distracted. It just automatically know how to stay at around 5-6 feet in front of you. It automatically know. You don't have to purposely do it. It will automatically do it for you. So the nature of mindfulness is that when when the mindfulness is there, it sets in. It kind of like hold the mind together, lock it in onto the object, and then it protects all these things from coming into it. You will see this protection or guarding of the mind as you develop further into the Satipatthana. As you develop into the Satipatthana, you will see that whatever thoughts or memory or planning, when they start to want to come up, you already catch hold of it already, right in the beginning. Not all the time you could do that, but sometimes you could do that. Sometimes the thoughts may be a bit more shorter than before. The length of the thoughts. Now, initially, when you start meditation, the length of the thought is you sit there 1 hour until the bell ring, still thinking. Or you sleep there 1 hour until the bell ring, somehow when the bell rings, you know how to get up. But the thing is that when the mindfulness comes in, as you pick up in this satipatthana, it's not that you're going to have zero thinking or zero sleepiness. It's just that it gets less. It gets less. Less, it can be several forms. One of the form is that there's one episode, it comes in, then after that, it doesn't come in. Before that, it was a lot, whole hour. Now maybe a little bit of it. Then after that, there's mindfulness. Clear mindfulness. Sometimes that less also can be like certain of your thoughts. Some of your thoughts, maybe perhaps your past memory that impact you a lot. Impact you, stir up your emotion, make you cry, make you angry, make you whatever. You know, like that you remember your past incident with some people that you get so a lot of time you tell yourself, oh, I forgive you, you know, every day, you know, you say forgive. But meditate only, everything. Or but that forgiveness somehow doesn't work. When you meditate, then you get angry again, or you get crying again. Yeah. Say only lah, you know, you're out there. I mean, it's not to say it's bad. It's good. It's still good. But don't expect that just because outside there you say some forgiveness thing, when you meditate, you think everything is going to koyok there already, you know, it's not going to come up already. You think you put your koyok there. No. You're still able to find you one way or another. One way or another, it will look for you. And that is where your mindfulness comes in. So when that mindfulness comes in, when it's strong enough, it can able to begin to heal the mind. That is to say, that rage that you have, that anger that you have, it also becomes shortened. At that time, you whole day you feel burning. After that, you develop some meditation, maybe 1 hour burning. Then after you develop further, maybe half an hour burning. Then you develop further, then only 1 minute of burning. Then next time, when you want to harmony, you already know, then it doesn't burn. More like you heal from it now. There's a lot of things that yogis heal from all their past horrible memory. Not that it makes it for you forget, you know. It actually makes things much more clearer. But minus those emotional tremble, all these unstable mental states, all these emotional states, or those things that you cannot let go, pang below, you know, those type of things are very, very difficult on many yogis. So these type of things, you got to be careful. So when the mindfulness is there, it helps to cool down. And not only cool down, but it begins to heal you from that episode. You're going to have a lot of episodes of all these things, rage and anger and sadness. Then this mindfulness will start to heal. But there's also another part. The joy part. The happiness part. You don't think that you just overcome that one, but you want more joy. The joy is not necessarily wholesome. You know. We love only joy, but then all our mind is just that we want that. We would just want them all these bad things to go away, but we want that happiness. No. When you develop this mindfulness, especially satipatthana, in more thorough manner, in more precise manner, even that happiness of yours also will become more toned down. You're not so crazy anymore. You're not so like, everything you want, everything going to make you happy. You see a beautiful car, you see a nice car, you want. You see a nice dress, nge want. So you see this, you also want. You see that, also want. That place got marked. That place the best curry mee, best laksa, whatever you want to go. Bocha is see. That type of mentality. Yeah. That one thing. That that craziness, that delight for our senses, hearing, smelling, tasting, everything, and that desire, that strong desire also begin to tone down because of that mindfulness. But the problem is that we don't see that as a problem in the first place. We don't see those things as a problem. We see only the sadness, the tear, and so on. That is a mental problem. That is a mental health issue, But we don't see that all this attachment, which is going to give rise to all the sadness and so on, that is also another underlying problem. So that too, mindfulness begin to heal those things, that it can able to settle the mind down into a more stable, clear mind. Not that you are not happy, if you're not practicing this path of development, people thought that you don't attach to this, don't attach to that. What's going to give you happiness? What is going to give you happiness? What bo isu already, life. No meaning. What is there to live for? But because for worldly people, there's the only thing that is give them happiness is this enjoyment of senses. The enjoyment of senses. So when we begin to we begin to reduce that enjoyment of senses, then we are looking into the development of Dhamma, which give you a more refined form of happiness. A more refined form of happiness. If you're able to see those more refined form of happiness, that's why you come back for retreat again. Yeah. That's why we come back to seek for it again, because it's more refined than what we have out there. Now, here, since we talk about this healing part of mindfulness, from all these negative thoughts, or even worldly happiness, worldly joy, worldly attachment, then we have to look into another part which is very closely connected with mindfulness, is the right view. The right view that comes with that mindfulness. Last week, if you so happen to follow my talk during the Vesa If, I talk about the clarity of the mind, the clarity of our goal. That finally, if you really want to walk this path, the concept of Nibbana, or concept of awakening, or realization of Nibbana, or getting out of this cycle of samsara, must be very well etched into your heart. If it's not, then you'll be talking, meditate. This life Nibbana, be la, Bhante be. Cannot Bhante. I think the next few more lives, that means you're doubtful already, first of all. I mean, you put it in a more humorous manner, but actually you're doubtful. You're doubtful that you cannot able to achieve what is supposed to be achieved in this lifetime. Yeah. And then many of us also dare not think about it also. Practice enough already, So there are many meditators, many Vipassana meditators, when they come to the retreat, they do not have an inclination towards enlightenment. They just want to practice for the practice sake, for the Bhāvana sake. And if you are there, if you are in this category, I can assure you that you're not going to go far, because there will be a lot of challenges coming your way. And that challenges, if this goal is not clear to you, somehow before that, everything will get blurry already. You will go into a different path because it's more pleasurable. It's more easy. Then, other words, you're not walking the Noble Eightfold Path anymore. You may have mindfulness, you may have concentration, but your mind but your direction starts to sway away. It's just like when you have a powerful big boat to cross over the sea into the other shore. The bigger your boat, the better it is, because it will protect you from all the waves and all the whatnot. But if you forget to steer, it correctly to your destination. You just let it go as the wind blow. You're also being blown all away, all around. No. While we are meditating, of course, we don't think about Nibbana all the time, but at least in your heart, you must be clear of what is it. Then, when you have that clarity of that goal, then whatever that you're going to do here, it become the right mindfulness, Samma Sati. Then the effort to arouse that mindfulness become the Samma Vayama, the right effort. Then the concentration develops from that mindfulness. Then it's become a Samma Samadhi. All the right things will start to fall into place if you have that goal, which is the right understanding or the right view. So a lot of us actually is missing on that right view. And the right view is not strong. They can repeat the Noble Eightfold Path, They can chant the Noble Eightfold Path. They can talk about the Four Noble Truths, but it's not being etched into the heart. That is another thing. They can talk and talk and talk. When you ask them, practice, maybe not, 2 more lives, as if they know. 3 more lives, few more lives to go. I don't know whether next life you get able to see the Dhamma or not. I do not know. I cannot promise you that. Bhante, they come and ask me, Bhante, this life, I do so much good. I donate a lot. I do dana a lot. I keep my sila. I don't gamble. I don't smoke. I don't do this. I don't do that. I practice meditation. You think next life, I can meet with the Dhamma or not? So that I can continue on with my path. Yeah. How? You answer me. You think next life you can meet with the Dhamma? The Buddha says, to become a human being, let's say, it's like that turtle, 100 years, roaming around the sea, and then suddenly, then you come up, and then you go through a hole in the plank, like floating on the water, and then suddenly your head come up. If you hit that hole, every 100 years, the turtle will only come up surface once. Right? It will surface once, and if that surface once, it hit a random plank in a sea with a hole, let's say, and then the head come out through the hole. To be a human is already so difficult. To be a human being, to able to meet with the Dhamma is also a very difficult thing. And that one is like, is something that is going to be very rare in your samsaric existence. It's very rare. Just that problem is that we cannot remember our past. If we can remember our past, let's see the Maitunya from here. You meditate until you get out samsara. Yeah. you, you won't want to go back if you can remember all your suffering of your past. It's just that problem with us, we forget. We forget. Yesterday also we forget. The day before we forget already. Our mind is so shallow. But that's the nature of us. But nevertheless, if we have that wisdom, if we have that wisdom, now while you're meditating here, it will be good that finally you must have that thought about finally getting out of this samsara. In your heart, you don't have to tell people. You keep it in your heart, but you know this is your direction, this is your path. Because if it's clear to you, and you cannot achieve it in this life, let's say, that clarity will still go on to your next life. Because that one, once the clarity is there about enlightenment, this life you cannot finish. Next life, the moment you find the Dhamma, you will keep on continuing. You will automatically lai liao, there are some people, you tell them meditate, oh boy, I wake here. Many of you want to go meditate, maybe retire first, maybe. Then maybe always maybe when I never want to meditate. That means there's somehow or another in the past, they're not so sure yet. Something to do with your past life already. But if you want to make sure about your next life, make sure that you have that clarity in your heart. Once that clarity in your heart, then it is not only next life you'll continue, but next life also, you are not so attracted to all other things that's going to happen around you. Maybe you reborn as a Devali. Every day, play, play until you forget. Because that time you don't have to work. There's no disease, there's no this. You live for a long, long period of time. But because what you have done right now, that the spark that you have created, so therefore in the next life, even you reborn in the most happiest world of existence, you still will seek for the Dhamma. Somehow or another, you know that it is not right, Somehow or another, you feel that all the happiness around you is somewhat shallow. You will come to that point, somewhat shallow. So they are not so attracted to all the sensual pleasure that much. Even you are in the world of the devas. So that would be good, because it goes a long, long way. Rather than you just think of it here and there. So therefore, with that right view, connected with that mindfulness that you are doing over here, you develop over here, then it turns into sammasati. Now, sammasati is a very, as I said, it has to have that right view. While you're out there nowadays, there's a lot of mindfulness development taking place. Mindfulness in psychology, mindfulness in the medicine, mindfulness in military, mindfulness in sports, mindfulness in business, mindfulness in everything. You just name it, they just put mindfulness there. You can make money out of it also. You can make big, huge money out of it. And those things are mindfulness, yes. If they develop the right mindfulness, yes. But this is not sammasati. If you go to a psychologist and you happen to have a lot of, let's say, anxiety due to COVID, maybe you go and look for this one, and then they prescribe you mindfulness, let's say. Right? Prescribe you mindfulness. Okay, you do this. You be aware. You acknowledge your heart. You acknowledge your what else? You acknowledge your fear. You acknowledge this and that. And then you cool down. Mindfulness thing. and then you pay 1,000 ringgit. Whole ton, yeah. Yeah. All you are pro already. So no work, go out there and work. Yeah. Get a license, maybe. Very easy to get money, Yeah. All this mindfulness thing, you don't have to prescribe any medicine. Tell them mindfulness this, mindfulness that. They'll hire you. Even nowadays, you go into a athlete right now, not just only training the body, only now they are training the mind too. You need to have that mindfulness to be steady when you are like, for example, if you're playing football or you're doing anything. So at that spot of time, you need that clarity of mind. You need that stability of mind. You must not let the emotion affect you while you are doing this thing. So they take mindfulness into it so that they stabilize the whole emotion when they are at that stage. Sometimes when you are competing, you begin to like go all out, but sometimes you go too much. Sometimes you overdo yourself. Then the mindfulness pulls you back a little bit to know where your level is. Things like that. So a lot of things here, the mindfulness thing, there are mindfulness, which is good, which is good if you have that mindfulness, because that mindfulness they develop, it heals them. It is wonderful, but they are not sammasati. Because the goal is not for nibbana. So too, don't think that every vipassana meditation is all about nibbana. There's a lot of people, or sometimes not all. Sometimes we hear certain teachers, they spoke about nibbana, but spoke about vipassana, but not about nibbana. Halfway teaching the vipassana, let's say, then after that, the teacher is more interested in psychology already, to heal the everyday problems of everyday life. Nibbana is not the main thing anymore. So devotees are also affected by it. Vipassana like that only, just to heal, to koyok your heart only. You put this one, okay, feel cured, feel good already. That's it. No. Yeah. Sometimes the difficult part, we have to let you all know that we have to go through all the difficulty. You have to face your problems. You have to face the pain. You have to face this and that. I cannot like water it down or dilute the whole thing. Because if you water it down, you will not able to practice already this mindfulness. So this mindfulness, again here, as I said, they are not easy to develop, but if you know how to develop, it feels like it's easy. Because you have the skills, you have the momentum right now, especially you have those things, you feel that it's quite easy. But in the beginning part, it is not. Many of us fail in that part. So make sure that this coming few days, make sure you build up on that mindfulness. Because I've seen, if normally, yogis, within like 7 days or 10 days, if their first few days, if they don't develop that mindfulness, the 7th day, the 10th day, sim luan already. Once it's sim luan, means that there are a lot of thinking come in, a lot of sleepiness cannot overcome and all that thing. Because first few days, they didn't do the proper way of practicing. Although you can tell them, cipat tau 100, still cannot muscle. Still cannot muscle here. They just look around, anyway. Now, for this mindfulness to take place, again here, the condition for the mindfulness to arise, also that is also important. As much as you know other aspect of mindfulness, but also you need to know the condition for it to arise, the immediate condition. Now, the immediate condition for it to arise is what we call the predominancy of an object. Predominancy here means it is clear to you at that present moment. If the object is not clear, mindfulness will not come in. If you can look for objects, let's say, you know this body got wind, fire, element, I think you all know. Then some teachers, they ask the yogis to look for that fire element. Ubo. Then after look for that water element. Ubo. Look for that wind element. Ubo. Look for that earth element. Ubo. Why? Because if you follow the book, that is what the book says. But when you come into meditation, you're not supposed to do like that. In the meditation, it's not the same as the book. But while you're in the meditation, the application of how mindfulness takes place is that you need to look for something that is obvious at that present moment. If that obvious at that present moment, let's say it's a rising and falling, which is a wind element, the rising and falling, you take notice of it. Then if it's clear to you, fine, pay attention to it. If after that it is not clear to you, then some other sensation becomes clear, then you have to go and look for that sensation. That means perhaps there's pain there, then the mind goes to the pain. That's how we taught again and again, that you must pay attention to it. But again, as I said, different teachers, different way of doing things, which is not very, in a way, I don't really agree. And also, even in the text as mentioned, the condition for mindfulness to arise is the clarity of the object, is the prominency of that object. Or in the Pali word, they put there, tira sanya. Tira means strong. Perception, sanya, strong perception. What do you mean by strong perception? That means it's clear to you at that moment of time. What is not clear, you put it aside first. Then you pay attention to what is clear. So that means if you know how to apply every moment, that clarity, that means you know how to bring about that mindfulness moment after moment, then mindfulness arises. So other words, we say, if this object, another object become clearer to you, go to that object. If the one object fades away, go to the next object. Because there are some yogis, they meditate rising, falling already. Rising, falling, no more there, but they still want to look at rising and falling. Until so small already, that is where you break your mindfulness. You overdo a lot of things already. So this one, you got to be careful. Mindfulness comes in when the object is clear. Now, this rising, falling, just now as I said, things become small, fade away, and we still hold on to it. Many of us did that, or doing it, or going to do it. In the past too, I also fall into this trap. I thought that Mahasi method only rising, falling only ma. All the headache all come up, all the pressure, tension all built up. Then I know it's somewhat wrong. Now over time, we begin to learn, so on. So these things is that when the object is prominent, then it is important for you to pay attention to it. We're going to talk about this prominency a little bit more when it comes to the, I think, let's say now it's 9:35. Tomorrow, no talk. Tomorrow you'll continue with the practice, and then we'll continue the talk on the following day. I can't remember what day is this. Doesn't matter. On the following day, not tomorrow, we don't have talk. So today is Wednesday. Yes, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, we don't have talk. So we continue on Friday. Okay, so we stop here for tonight. Share merits. Idang me bhavanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of nibbana. Imang no punya bhagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sape satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu.